Let's start with bad reading aloud. Take an unknown text, give it to your learners. Right. Sarah, please read the first sentence. OK, Maria, read the next one. Pierre, the next. This isn't great for many reasons. It puts the reader on the spot and it's potentially embarrassing when they stumble over a word, and they're bound to because English is like that. Sound spelling's very bad. Everyone else has to listen when they could just read it alone much faster. And to be honest, it's just dull. Want to know a better way? Keep watching. I'm Joga Conga, and if this is the first time we're meeting, I'm an English teacher, a CELTA tutor and assessor, and I've got a website at elttraining.com where I make video-based material to support you, whether you're just starting out in a CELTA course or whether you're a bit further down the line in your English language teaching career and you'd like some more ideas. Reading aloud can be really problematic in English. There are so many words that don't sound anything like they should. But I'm going to show you that it can be great to develop pronunciation, to give learners confidence speaking more fluently, and to cement vocabulary and chunks of useful language. I'm going to talk about a technique called shadow reading that you can use in class or for homework with very little preparation. The first thing I should say is that reading aloud works best, as with many things, if you set the activity up well. So the first question is what text to use. There are a few things to bear in mind. You want a text that's interesting and not too long. 100 to 200 words, that's probably more than enough. And you want to make sure that the level of language is within the range that your learners can understand comfortably well. OK, you've got a text. So let's deal with comprehension first. Maybe a picture. What can you see? Here's a short text and a question to answer. What are the 4 musical experiences that this child enjoyed? So far, so good. There are lots of ways that you can play around with this, of course, but I'll tell you one procedure and then you can see how you want to adapt it for your learners. Check any words or phrases that might be problematic, especially if the spelling is a bit misleading. Earliest, musical instruments, piano, violin, 8. And also things that you know might be tricky. Played, it's got 1 syllable, not 2, played, no. Used to have, the weak forms there and the linking. Ask your learners to go through the text, perhaps they could do this in pairs, and underline the words that they think will be stressed in the text. This will usually be nouns and verbs, of course, but it might be other words. My earliest memory, for example. Then read the text at a reasonably normal speed and let them see if they were right about which words are stressed. Now tell them that you're going to read the text again and they should read it with you at the same time. If you're in class, they can just talk quietly under their breath. I don't think they should whisper. It's better if you're actually talking, but just under your breath. If you're online, this is super easy. You just hit the mute button. But they must say the words. This is important, not just think them. They actually have to say them. After they've done it once, you might want to draw attention to another aspect of pronunciation, weak forms of prepositions or intonation or particular problem sounds that for the learners that you have. Then do it again. You read, they read along with you. Finally, get them in pairs and have them read alternate sentences to each other and correct each other if they can. At the end, you could maybe get them to discuss their own experiences of music in their childhood with the stipulation that they have to use the following phrases. As a follow-up to this, you could get them to do this at home by recording a short text and sending them the audio file. Ask them to practice several times and then record their own version, perhaps to send to you, or at least to listen to so they can compare with the original. I hope that this is helpful and enjoy your shadow reading. Thanks very much for watching. Bye bye.